Hey everybody, it's Dak here from the Ed Boys, and welcome to episode 36 of our RuneScape 2007 Road to 100 Mil. At the end of episode 35, we started doing agility again. This is part 2 of what I believe will take 6 parts to get to 80 agility. We did manage to get to 74. I do have one more lap to go, and we will have enough XP to stop. I believe I got a little bit of extra XP this time, so this lap may not be completely necessary, but I'm doing it anyway. It doesn't really matter. We got a few less marks of grace, which is kind of strange, seeing as how I'm doing an extra lap right now, but it's not that big of a deal. We still have those 8 marks of grace in the bank, so I'll just have to grab a couple of those to round it up to 50. Last time we went to sell the crystals, they sold pretty quickly, so it's possible they're rising in price. We may, even though we got less marks, we may make more money in the end, because we'll have the same amount of crystals. But we'll see about that in just a second. I'm kind of glad to be done with this thing of agility because I'm a little bit excited for today's episode. We'll see what's going on. But now that I am all done with agility, I'm going to head over to the Rogue's Den where I will be grabbing the crystals and eventually going to sell them. So I'll meet you guys at the Rogue's Den. Alright, so we're just grabbing these crystals quick. It's not going to be that big of a deal. I will price check them when we have them just to get an idea of how much money we're going to make. But as we know, the price checker isn't always spot on because prices rise and drop. But we'll see. We'll see kind of an idea. Get these 5 packs. It seems like we get 5 packs just about every time, which really isn't bad. It doesn't take too long to get. This might be, this won't be the majority of the profit we make in this episode, 410k. But this might be a fair chunk of it. Now that we're at the Grain Exchange, I'm going to sell these crystals and we'll be done with agility until the end of this episode. What we're going to do in this episode, I'm actually going to show you that in a second. I'm going to kind of surprise you. It's only going to be like 10 seconds before you know. Let's see how much these sell for, 410k, and oh, we got 455k out of it, so that's not too bad. That's a lot more than we got last time. Hopefully it'll keep going up the whole time we're doing agility so we can make a lot more profit. Let's see what the stack is at right now. 34.5 mil. Alright everyone, I'm going to be heading back to those Ankous. We're going to do a little more combat today. The current plan is for 65 strength, but what we're doing right now is since we got 60 defense recently, I'm going to get a few dragon items. Not a lot. I was just thinking the helm, legs, and boots just to spend a little bit of money. We don't need a ton of armor. We were doing fine with rune armor, so I figured just adding a couple dragon pieces is going to be enough. I could buy like the dragon chain or plate body too, go full out, but I really don't need to spend that much money on it right now. This is kind of why I was saying that the marks of grace would be the majority of the money in it, because I'm about to spend a few 100k. We'll probably make about 500k from the Ankou, so we'll still make a profit even though we just spent some money. I'm also going to buy some swordfish. I was thinking about doing monkfish or shark because the swordfish don't heal that much, but they seemed to work last time. They're pretty cheap, and I figure if they worked, might as well not change it. I'm just going to buy 200 of them. I don't know why I clicked 1,000. I would never need 1,000. I'm doing 150 because I believe I already have 50 in the bank. I'm kind of guessing on that one. But now that we have all the supplies we need, I'm going to meet you guys at the Ankous in the Stronghold of Security. Alright everybody, here we are at the Ankous where I'm going to start training towards 65 strength. We're stopping at 65 just because it's kind of a decent stopping point. There's nothing specific that we're unlocking. I'd go all the way to 70, but I figured that would take a little bit longer, and 65 just seemed like a good stopping point. We'll be getting 70 strength pretty soon, but I have some other plans for that we'll talk about later. I think this will go about the same speed actually right now. It'll slightly increase speed since we're aggressive with our attacking instead of defensive, and we'll be training strength, so I guess our strength's going to be going up at the same time. But really, the XP and money rates probably haven't changed for us much because all we did was train defense. But at least we'll be able to stay here longer. That'll be kind of a big deal because the trips do hinder it a little bit, so that might change the rates if I was taking too many trips. But I didn't do enough calculations to really figure how much the trips were affecting me, so I guess kind of blew it on that one. We don't really have the right numbers. But for now, I'm just thinking this will take a couple hours to get to 65 strength, probably make a few 100k. I will see you guys when we do that, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I may have lied a little bit. I don't have 65 strength yet. To be honest, it's really only been like 30 seconds since you've left. I forgot to say something earlier. I want to say thank you to everybody because we recently hit 2,000 subscribers. I didn't necessarily think that was big enough for a whole separate video, or I guess like a solid enough number, if that makes sense. 2,000, it is double what 1,000 was, obviously, which was only like 4 or 5 months ago, I think, so That's really cool, guys. You've been supporting us a lot lately, and I do appreciate that. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for all your support and feedback. And now I believe I can say I'll see you next when I get 65 strength. Alright everybody, we're about to be getting 65 strength. It really didn't take too long. I definitely do think the rates increase, even though I said they probably wouldn't. It makes sense though, because we have been training here. I mean, logically they would increase. We made a pretty good amount of money. We'll see exactly how much money we made in just a little bit. I am coming back to these Ankus, but not right away. I do have, I think, two or three things that we have to do before we come back. But we'll get to that in a little bit. I should be getting the 65 strength. I thought I got it in that kill, but I was definitely wrong. It must be on this kill. So once we get this Ankou, we'll be at 65 strength. We'll head up to the GE, and we will see how much money we made. So I'm going to see if I can get it on the special attack, see if I can time it right. 70 XP. I want to knock him out with the attack so that we can have a lot of time to see it. 65 strength. See how it just flashed by? If we could have gotten it on the kill, we could have seen it for longer. But there it is, guys. We have 65 strength, so I will now meet you at the grain exchange. Alright everybody, here we are safe and sound at the grain exchange. We're going to be selling all the stuff we got from Ankous. I believe it's going to add up to right about 500k, which is not too bad. I am pretty happy about that. One thing I noticed is we got 10 wizard robe tops this time, which last time we got 3. They aren't very expensive. They're like 3k a piece, and they won't sell right away, so it's not like that's great money, but I was kind of interested that we got more than 3 times as many, where we didn't kill more than 3 times as many Ankous. The money, obviously, the majority of it's coming from the death runes and the blood runes, but I bet the rest of it's going to add up to another like 150k. I'm taking about 200 laws because I had law runes in the bank. I didn't know exactly how many. I'm just grabbing 200, figuring that's right around how many we got. If that's more, it's really not that big of a deal. I can afford to sell some of those laws anyway, because I'm probably not going to do 200 teleports in the near future. And they're not extremely expensive anyway, so it's not going to really change our profits if I mess it up a little bit. But I'll try my best next time to kind of keep a track of the law runes so we can get a little bit more of an exact number. So it turns out we did make just about 500k, which is not too bad. I'm pretty excited to go back to those Ankous, but we got something else to do first that you'll see in just a second. Alright guys, I'm going to be training prayer actually. We're going to 40 prayer to get protect from ranged. We're going to need it for the next assignment that we're going to be doing. I am going to be buying big bones. That's because we're only going to 40 from 27. I didn't feel I needed to spend any extra money on dragon bones or something like that. We need a little less than 600 of these big bones on a gilded altar, but I'm getting 600. I'm rounding up. I'm going to meet you guys in the bank in Yaniel. Alright everyone, here we are in the Yaniel Bank. We're going to be doing one bone run here. I'm grabbing 28 big bones. We have one guy who is hosting. I'm going to be using his house. It does not going to cost me any money. If you want to know, World 330 is generally the world where people are hosting for gilded altars. All I'm going to be doing is grabbing bones, running to this guy's house, using the bones on his altar, which is going to give me a lot more experience per bone, and then running back, grabbing more, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to be getting 40 prayer from this. It's not going to take too long. This isn't the best, like the quickest way to do it. Like I said, I could have bought dragon bones, but since we're only going up to 40 prayer, I didn't feel I needed to spend the extra money. We already spent a lot of money on this episode anyway, so I'm okay with the big bones. I don't think I'll regret this decision. Once we get 43 prayer, excuse me, we're not going to 43. Once we get 40 prayer, I can move on to the next thing. So I guess I'm just going to meet you guys when I have 40 prayer. I'll be right back. Alright everyone, we should be getting 40 prayer on this load, which is not too bad. I'm pretty happy with it. Didn't take that long. It definitely was okay just doing the big bones. Though if I were to go to like 70 for instance, I would buy dragon bones. If you're going for a lot of XP, you want to do something other than big bones. But it worked out. We're at 40 prayer now, or we should be in a second. There it is, 40 prayer. That's all we needed. We can use protect from missiles, it's actually called. Yeah, protect from missiles. I'm gonna finish up this load here. I do have some more bones in the bank, but I'm not gonna use those right now. We don't really need to do it. I will meet you guys once again in Polonivnich. Alright guys, sadly we're gonna have to end with this clip here. I'm going to be doing agility again. We're going to, I think it's gonna be 1,364,000 XP, another 208k. Probably get it right around 50 marks of grace again, but that's where I'm going to see you guys at the beginning of next episode. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. I want to thank you guys for watching today's video and helping support the channel. If you enjoyed the video, we would appreciate it if you would hit that like button and tell us what you liked about it in the comments section below. If you're looking for more videos like this one, then go ahead and join the cul-de-sac by clicking that subscribe button and follow us on Twitter at @TheEdBoys. All links are in the description.